Hey, dreamers, welcome back to your Dream Coach podcast, where we dive deep into what it takes to turn your biggest dreams into reality. I'm Shayla Way, and today we're tackling a topic that I see holding so many people back: the scarcity mindset. And this one belief system alone can be the difference between struggling and thriving, both in your business and in your life. And I know this not only because I read it in a book, but because I've lived it. I've worked with business owners, leaders, and dreamers just like you who made one major shift. They moved from a scarcity mindset and thinking to an abundant thinking. And so if you've ever felt like there's not enough time, money, success, or opportunity to go around, stick with me because we're about to break that cycle together. So let's start here. Scarcity isn't just about money. I know for me, that's often what comes up when I think about that word or that topic. And what I've learned over my years of working with many people is it's a way of thinking that can show up in a lot of different areas. So feeling like there's not enough time to do everything you want. Worrying that if someone else succeeds, it means less success for you. Holding on to money tightly that you don't invest in yourself or your business, and even just staying in situations, maybe jobs, relationships, environments, out of fear rather than possibility. Now, I've seen it over and over again in coaching small business owners that they can sometimes hesitate to raise their prices because they're afraid no one will pay. Maybe they don't delegate because they believe that no one can do the job as well as they can. And sometimes they don't even want to invest into mentorship or marketing because they're trying to save that money, where in reality, they're limiting their growth. So scarcity thinking makes us play small. When we play small, that's when we often stay with those smaller results. And so the good news is just because that you have been thinking this way doesn't mean you have to stay stuck in it. And what I've found is that abundance is a choice. And I don't mean that it is just think happy thoughts kind of way. I mean that when you start making decisions as if there is already enough, your world will start to shift. So instead of thinking, I can't afford this, I've learned to ask, how can I afford this? Instead of saying, I don't have time, I focus on what's the best use of my time. Instead of thinking there's too much competition, I lean into how can I stand out? And the most successful people that I've worked with think differently. They don't see opportunity as limited. They believe that success, money, and impact expand when they put themselves out there. And so how does this shift really show us, allow us to show up in real life? Well, there's a few things that I've noticed in myself and in my clients who have moved toward an abundant mindset. Number one is that they invest in themselves. So whether it is hiring a coach, attending a mastermind, or even just buying books and courses, they know that growth happens when they put value into themselves. The second is they give more. This one was huge for me. When I stopped hoarding my time and resources and started giving, whether it was free value to clients, time, just to help somebody, or even money to causes that I care about, I actually saw more come back to me because generosity expands wealth. The third thing was they trust the long game. Scarcity makes us impatient and it makes us chase quick wins and fear long-term plays. But abundance-minded people trust that showing up consistently will bring results over time. And then the fourth thing is that they surround themselves with abundance-minded people. So have you ever noticed that scarcity is contagious, but so is abundance? So the more you're around people who believe in possibilities rather than limits, the more your thinking expands. And so I want you to think about your biggest dream, the thing that if you fully went for it would change your life. Now ask yourself, are you thinking about that with scarcity or abundance? Scarcity says, it's not realistic. Abundance says, if someone else has done it, so can I. Scarcity says, well, what if I fail? And abundance says, what if this works beyond my wildest dreams? So the way you think about your dream is the first step to making it real. So I'm leaving you with a challenge today. One simple action. Identify one area in your life where you've been thinking with a scarcity mindset. Maybe it's money, time, success, relationships. Then ask yourself, what's the abundant version of this thought? DM me on Instagram at Shayla Way Coaching and tell me what shift you're making. I'd love to celebrate that with you. And if today's episode resonated, share it with someone who needs this message. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and leave a review. It helps more people step into their abundance. Remember to dream big and act bold. There is more than enough for you. I'll see you next time on Your Dream Coach podcast.